What's up, everybody? It's your boy Jaron Ikner, multimedia artist for the last 5 years. Wait, what? Multimedia artist?
Multimedia artist. Multimedia artist.
Now, I know what you're thinking. What is a multimedia artist? Well, I'll tell you what. Chances are, if you clicked on this video, you already are a multimedia artist. Let me give you an example real quick. So let's say that you are a photographer and you shoot photos for your friends or clients or whoever. Now, one day, one of your clients asks you, hey, could you do me a favor and put some titles on this picture? Now, you're already experienced with Photoshop, so you're like, yeah, sure, I'll do that. So you go in this Photoshop and you mess around and all of a sudden you have titles on there and you give it to your client and you're happy. Guess what? You just crossed over into the multimedia artist stream. Why is that? Well, let's break it down. First, you have multi and media. Multi, of course, you know, multiple, many streams, many different things. Then you have media, which includes anything from writing, film, graphic design, photography. These are different mediums or ways that we communicate with people. And what all this comes down to is, if you are using multiple mediums to communicate with people, then you are a multimedia artist. Let me give you another example. Let's say that you're a rapper and you make music and you want to put out your new single on Spotify. Now, obviously, if you're going to put your music on Spotify, you can't do it without artwork. So you hop on Photoshop and you design your own artwork. Guess what, man? You just became a multimedia artist because you designed your own album cover for your Spotify page. Now, you're probably watching this video because in the title it says there's ways to make money as a multimedia artist. Well, what you have to understand is that we are some of the most valuable things currently in the current way of society and the way things operate. Think about it. If you're a business and you can go hire a photographer slash videographer slash graphic designer slash writer slash marketer all in the same person, that's going to cost you way less than it would cost you to hire these people individually. Back in the day, it was way different. Usually, you would focus on one medium, one lane, and that would be your craft. And you would spend your entire career in that lane. But with the advent of the internet, the smartphone, cheaper camera equipment, cheaper software to edit with, and the ability to reach people with the masses, things are way different now. A multimedia artist is basically the standard now. If you make your own YouTube videos, chances are you edit them in Adobe Creative Suite or Final Cut, or any of these variety of different things. These are avenues that are highly sought after in the industry, not just in the industry that you work in, but almost anywhere. Especially nowadays with social media where you have Facebook ads and all these different things that are designed to target people in creative and innovative ways. Multimedia artists are already versed in that field in the sense that they already have to create multiple ways to reach audiences. And you can take advantage of that. Let me give you another example. Let's say that same client that you shot that photo for that wanted the text also wants some marketing. Now, obviously, you might not be a marketer and you might not be able to reach out to different people, but what you can do is if you are capable of writing a simple paragraph, or if you are very good at writing and you have good writing talents, maybe you could write a bio for their Spotify page, or maybe you could write a bio to help them get the press that they need from different marketing. This is another example of expanding your multimedia lane. And as I said before, most of us are multimedia artists already. We have to operate in different mediums in order to reach our masses. With the advent of social media, it's way easier for an artist to really get their name out there just by using the various apps that are on their phone. Also, with the camera equipment that we have on your phone, you could shoot a whole movie. Your smartphone is one of the most valuable tools that you have. In fact, the audio in this video is being recorded by a smartphone right here. Taking advantage of your resources is the key and the secret to being a really successful multimedia artist. Another example I can give is that I do website design for a lot of artists locally and abroad. Oftentimes, some of these artists don't have enough photos to make their website robust enough to be interesting. I have experience in photography and video, so why not offer the ability to shoot the photos for these artists and help build their website? Not only that, but you're also building a very great relationship with your artists because you're offering services that they know that they need. It's just common sense. Multimedia artists nowadays are the reason why the internet even operates most of the time, because oftentimes you have to be able to switch lanes and talk to different people and do different things. My new YouTube channel is going to focus on the life of a multimedia artist. Not only am I giving you tips and ideas and different ways you can approach being a multimedia artist, but I'm also going to give you a look at my process and how I approach certain things. Currently, I'm actually working on a movie called Magenta. It is written, directed, and will be shot by me and my team. It's a pretty big project. It's probably the biggest thing that I've ever done in my life. But I'm going to take you along with me on this journey so you guys can understand what it's like to be a multimedia artist. Also, I'll be making a wider range of videos, from video production to beat production to writing tips to how to write a screenplay. All these different fields that will let you expand your multimedia empire. Let's be honest, I'm trying to find ways to monetize my knowledge and my skill set just like any other multimedia artist out there, which is probably why you're watching this video. So I appreciate it if you like, subscribe, and follow, and do all that stuff. But my main concern is that you guys take something away from these videos that help you reach the next level of what you want to be as an artist. And I'm not really trying to treat this as a self-help thing, and I'm not really trying to approach this with an egotistical mindset. Most of the stuff that I'm speaking on comes from experience, knowledge, and things that I've actually gone through. And just sharing that knowledge seems to be the best route for my career logically. Hopefully you guys enjoy these videos and don't be haters.
I see you haters out there.
One of the biggest secrets about being a multimedia artist is that you have to remember to have fun. If you're not having fun doing all this, then you might need to switch lanes. Because at the end of the day, this is one of the most stressful things that you can do because you're relying on the whim of the clients that you're working with. Oftentimes when we're hired by clients, we are given projects that may be not as creatively diverse as we're expecting it to be. And that can be disheartening sometimes. But what you have to understand is that if you are going to, use your artistic value for a profit, oftentimes there's going to be a middle ground with giving your client what they want versus what your vision. Now, if you're working independently and making narratives and doing your own thing, then you can do whatever you want. But monetizing that becomes a little bit more difficult because it comes down to really your talent and your skill sets. Being a photographer, chances are there's a good chance that you could switch lanes to being a videographer with a little bit of knowledge. And that's another opportunity to make money. If you're shooting photo for somebody, especially nowadays where video is one of the highest ways that we consume media, throw that switch over to video mode and take a couple of videos. With practice and time and learning and watching videos like color correction and maybe editing and things like that, you might wind up being a sharp videographer without realizing it. And the opposite is true too. If you bought a camera for the sake of shooting videos, chances are that same camera can take a still photo. Now, what people have to understand is that video and photo are actually two vastly different mediums. They serve different purposes, they reach different audiences in different ways. So understanding the mediums in different ways really will help you get very far. At the end of the day, if you really want to be a really good multimedia artist, it comes down to doing research and understanding your crafts and the lanes that you're trying to be in. I'm not saying that everybody who picks up a photo should start writing blogs, but if you know that you have the ability to write and you're very versed with your words, why not do that? Especially if you know that it's going to increase your clientele and give you an opportunity to really expand your skill set. It really just makes the most sense. Being a multimedia artist can be extremely stressful in the sense that you have to understand that your talent is what is driving you to the next point. And like I said before, chances are if you clicked on this video, then you're probably already a multimedia artist in some way, shape, or form, and you're taking the opportunity to really expand your skill set to a different lane. And basically what all that comes down to is doing some research. With tools like YouTube, Wikipedia, No Film School, a variety of different sites and websites out there that will help you and educate you in the lane that you're trying to be in. And if you're trying to switch lanes, those resources are there for you too. And what really all comes down to is just practice and consistency. In fact, consistency is the most important thing that you can do as a multimedia artist if you're trying to treat this as a business, because your clients will appreciate that. Being on time with deadlines, making sure that your work never really goes down in quality, in fact only increases in quality. These are things that clients appreciate when you're trying to grow your multimedia brand. Also, branding, very important. Adding a logo to all your work, putting your name or whatever you use as your alias for your work attached to all your stuff, making sure that your clients tag you in photos and all your work. It's extremely important, and that's how you get more clients. Also, don't be afraid to take risks. In fact, being a multimedia artist in a certain level is already a risk in the sense that you have to go out there and get it yourself. A lot of these clients aren't just going to come to you. You have to go find it. So oftentimes you have to be able to throw those Hail Marys to the end zone and hope that you'll be able to catch that. And oftentimes you won't make that. Failure is going to be a big part of a lot of this. You have to understand that a lot of this stuff is trial and error, especially if you're an artist trying to figure out the best way to tell your story or the best way to tell your client's story. But don't be afraid to fail, because oftentimes the lessons are learned there. But I'll be back with more videos. So make sure you like and subscribe and check me out. This is the beginning of a beautiful relationship. See you later.